Hey everybody, this is Rob Gauthier. Welcome to the official ET Whisperer YouTube channel. Hey everybody, we're back with another monthly Galactic channeling. I wanted to let you guys all know that everything has been amazing. We just got back from our Detroit trip. It was the most amazing. We met a couple great people. Actually, we met a lot of great people, but we got to know very well two people. Michelle Walling from the Cosmic Awakening online show, and we also got to meet Michael Lee Hill. For those of you who are UFO buffs, he was on an episode of UFO Hunters, and he was one of two people across the world that have a blood anomaly. He is an amazing guy. He gave a great presentation and also gave this gift to me and Kalina. And I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but this is a 432 hertz sound vibration picked up. And this is colored from the chakras. This side has the inverted chakra, starting with the highest chakra colors and going outwards to the lower. And this one has the lower in the center going out to the higher. Amazing information and energy. With the sound specialist that he talked to, they actually told him that no matter what instrument they ever brought in, it could never make a perfect pitch. And it was because he tuned his guitar to 432. If you guys like that type of information, go check out Michael Lee Hill. He's one of the best. He is an amazing dude. Check out Michelle Walling. Two amazing people. We had a great time. Detroit is a city that is broken down in a lot of ways, but it's rebuilding. And so many people have negative stereotypes and negative perceptions and thoughts about that city. It's very sad to see how much disdain for Detroit there is, when in all reality, it is a beautiful, diverse, accepting town. We were there. People of all color, religion, ethnicity, belief systems talked to us, made us feel very comfortable. It's a beautiful city, and at that event, we pulled a lot of beautiful, loving, powerful energy into that vortex. So any of you who have the chance to send love to Detroit, please do that. Flint, Michigan's another one too. Went through a lot of rough times, now rebuilding. Michigan is where me and Kalina both live, so it's very important for us to get this state flowing with good energy. So for those of you who don't live in the U.S., or for those of you who do but don't know where Michigan is, check it out. It's surrounded by 4 lakes that look like miniature ocean. Actually, it's surrounded by 3 and touches onto the other 2 Great Lakes. But those Great Lakes are some of the largest bodies of fresh water around there, and they look like little miniature oceans. We've had pictures and stuff that we've shown, so check that out. It's really amazing. Anyway, we're going to get to the video, guys. For those of you who don't know, if you check out our Patreon, the ET Whisperer Patreon portal, you could watch this video 3 days early. We also have been cutting a lot of extra content for that specific Patreon account anyway. Check out some of the stuff. Last month we did an in-depth meditation channeling, but go check it out. Links below. There's a video at the end for the promo too. Check it out. It's amazing stuff. Love you guys. We'll see you after the channeling's over. Greetings to all. This is Aridif. That is Aridif. And this is spelled. We understand there are many things that you wish to experience in this day, and connecting to another race is yet one of those things. We will fulfill that concept in one moment, but before diving in, we wish to express our own perspective about the human collective consciousness in the last 1 month of your time period. The growth for all of you has been exponential. The opening of your own crown chakras and third eye chakras, respectively, have grown as a collective consciousness. That growth is now enhancing the ability for many of you to start moving forward yet again upon your journeys. There seemed to be a great deal of holding still, as with Rob and as with many other entities in the human collective. Now that energy moves forward, and so do we. We wish to express that above all things expressed within this evening, to know, to feel, and to perceive that you are loved, and our perspective is of the utmost importance. One moment we will connect you. We introduce ourselves as we are a small collective, beings that you perceive as insectoids, beings that you respect as mantoid beings. We are a race who have known humans long. We've known them throughout generations. Some of your families that you no longer know, we know. We've been with them, we've seen them, we've talked to them. We've taken DNA from them. Their permission gave us permission to work with many other beings. Human, the function of human contact in us. Who we are and why we connect. The function is easy. There were so many different beings who were here for you that failed you. There were so many beings here that denied you the proper rights of sentient beings. Those beings betrayed your trust. They took your freedom. They pledged themselves as gods in front of your eyes. They showed you their technologies, showed you their cards, and yet the human at the time did not know and was not aware there was nothing special about those beings more than there was the human beings. They tricked you to thinking they were bigger and better, and many humans needed that something to believe in. Just as now many humans need something to believe in. We have our own purpose for being here, and our purpose is to help lighten the load of that energy, of what was put on top of you that you didn't deserve, that doesn't belong to you, and that should have never belonged to you in the first places. How do we do that? So many ways. How do we do that? Great many ways. First ways, sharing DNA. We've taken DNA from ancestors publicly, given the line and genomes of the human collective, and that family who gave genes, their family still gives genes. Their children contractually connected, knowing before ever coming into a physical being body that they would participate. Some who have more advanced telepathic energy also are aware of our presence and are aware of us. Some without that third eye, they feel that they are losing time. They feel like they are disappearing. There have been some of you who've not been able to carry the memory of us. We never take that memory. We never want to take that memory. We want you to remember your action with us. We don't want to be the ones who take advantage of you. We don't want to be the ones who take you against your wills. That is those that came before us. We share with other races our own desire. Many gray beings that you know we have worked with. Many gray Zeta beings we have worked with. Some of them are careless in their emotion, so some of them seem traumatic to you because they have less understanding about human emotions than many of the races who were spawned from your genetics or who have come earlier than your genetics but still understand them. And that is why it is difficult with them sometimes, and because we work with them and they are the ones who go hands-on with humans, more often than not there are misunderstandings. I want to clear that space up today. If your heart doesn't want to create with us, we already know that. If your soul does not want to create with us, we already know that. We have never taken one whose heart or soul has not wanted to come with us. There have been some times where after a rough physical moving from those ones who have trouble, the Greys who have trouble scaling emotions, and then by then your body is upset, you're into threat mode because of your DNA and all of the other beings who have always taken advantage of you come. Once that advantage of you is taken, your DNA sets for any extraterrestrial being that you see to naturally create small fears. You have seen the loved ones. You have seen the great ones that you know you love. You've seen pictures. You've seen them in your mind. You've seen them in astral projections. And even those beings cause the small amount of fear initially until your heart can feel the energy. So even the beings that love you, like children, even though the beings who love you as you are their children, and many beings who love you because they know what love is and want to give all that love, there are still small parts of hesitation. Some of you work tirelessly, effortlessly, working with your ability to connect psychically and your ability to connect genetically. You go out into the fields and call upon the ships, and sometimes you see them and sometimes you do not. Then the days where you do not is because of that fear. Some of you go further than this, and some of you say, I wish to be upon the ships and go. Most races will not entertain the idea until the whole human race is ready. If you cannot decide between yourselves why you fight over color of skin, why you fight over finances, why you fight over religion, then how are we to believe you can accept us? So the whole of the collective is not being punished, but is showing that reflection to us of what our landing would look like. Then you separate yourselves and say, I can do it myself because I have no fear. There are still parts of fear. Some races will come to see you, yes, and some races will come to be with you physically, but in order to achieve that, you must remove all of the fears that happen within you, all the fears and hesitations of your energy, and you have to be geographically in a place of safety for that being. If they are physical and higher dimension, they still must shift into your dimension in order to physically prepare with you, unless your third eye is completely open and activated. But even then, in order for them to touch your body and allow you to enter the ship with your physical body intact, not your higher dimensional body, they still require to come into that dimension. Even for a split second of shipping in and out of dimensions creates a military alert for the beings on your planet. Regardless of what country you live, whether you even know if your country has an air force, there are warplanes everywhere on this world. Everywhere on the earth is warships and warplanes and many military men who think that they are protecting you, but they in fact inhibit you because you feel you need to be divided and fight with one another. That inhibited already started. So the chance that you are in a place where no military is, and you are in a place where you are alone and you do feel you have that ability, still less than 4% of you will achieve it because of that fear. How do we alleviate fear? We can't fully alleviate, but we want to take some of that weight off of you. So we share a story. Our own race is grown in a planet almost exactly as yours is. Composition of earth, composition of water, nitratic traces in water, atmospheric pressure, gravity, atmospheric makeup, almost exactly. It is 1% away from being perfect, 1.48% from being a 100% match for Earth in its likeness. And this is where we grew. We grew on our own through animal, we grew on our own through third steps or third density until almost halfway through thirds. At that point we were communicated with many different types of beings. Others looked much closer to us than humans do. These beings also visited your planet, and that is how we knew the legend of Earth. Those beings were in your southwestern United States and were called ant people with your indigenous tribes. Those beings came to us with love and with understanding, with teaching. They gave us many building blocks for our understanding of the universe, but yet they still had certain degrees of separating themselves. They still thought that they had to fight wars and protect themselves from others. So after they taught us and we grew to the fourth, they left 4, 5, or 6 generations, depending on what part of our world, away from the fourth, and left us there to finish the third and enter the fourth. They never left fully, but they left physically interacting with the planet. After they left, our world came together more and more, better understandings, less divisions. We were lucky in some ways because we weren't given so much different DNA. We weren't given 12 parts of DNA. We were only our DNA, and the natural growth helped us resolve our equilibrium. After we went through the fourth and all connected, we were able quickly to build society that was spacefaring. We left into the local solar system and met another race of beings. These beings were very short humanoid beings and very green skin with purple-ish toes and very, very blue-white skin on their head and face. Their hair was also a blue pale white. These beings were much smaller than the humans by almost being only 2 3/4 to 3 1/2 foot measurements. The average being in that planet got to know us well, and they were just at the beginning of third. We talked to them and shared with them and gave them many tools to start building their society in the best way for them. We left them alone much more than the ones you call ant people to us, and we gave them much more room. But we did just as those ant people did for us and kept close eyes, setting bases in the moons next to them or in Lagrange points in the solar system with our large ships, so we would never have to move and always have an eye on them. We watched them for a few hundred years and a few generations and left further. At this point, all of our beings who explored further out met with an outpost of the beings you call Zeta Gray beings. That is where that communication started. They told us about the draconian reptilian beings that brought them through
to a new reality to start their inquest of connecting to other human beings in DNA. At this point, we knew very little about genetics scientifically, but knew a great deal about it internally and spiritually. We helped them balance the spiritual points in their interactions with humans. It took still several hundred years before we were able to go to humans, but once we did, our journey with you began. We watch the beings that are gray. We assimilate the emotional imbalances with them and you for the communication. We also oversee much of the hybrid programs that happen so that there is always a balance between emotion and energy. We are not considered type 1 beings, but we are considered by the being who connected us as 97% benevolent type 2 beings, meaning we are as close to the most of you loving humans that love extremely strong as any other being, those that spiritually open themselves. And now our story meets with yours. Now you better understand. By better understanding, you also have the opportunity to bring yourself to us. Physically is always hard. We are in higher dimension than you. We are now in 5th density energy. If you connect to us, the easiest way is bringing your vibrations up or learning to master your astral sleep time. If your astral sleep time prevails with your full control and full tact memory, we will communicate all the time. Closing your eyes as you go to sleep and picturing your night sky will help you. Try to learn what your night sky looks like for some of you who don't know where the stars are or what's the location of those stars. In the depths of the Capricorn constellation, over 29,000 light years is our home planet, very close to Alpha Capricornus of your star charts. We are extremely close in the vicinity of your sky to that. Feel that energy focus on this point of the sky, just like your friendly guides Aridif and Treb have told you to do, and this will help you find us more. Open yourself to the energy of our race. You know with great detail what our physical appearances are. Many of those who hold tact memory bring visual pictures to you, drawings and computer animated. Focus on the feel of our energy, the look of us, and the location. Also focus on your moon and one part of the back of your moon. Deep in a crater, we still have a large base there. We inhabit that part. As long as there are no other hostile beings in the area, we inhabit that. We do come in and out of it frequently, as other races also tend to use for their own means parts of the moon. Look to your Lagrange points between the place that you call Jupiter and Saturn. Look at your Lagrange points between the moon and the earth. If you find those Lagrange points, you'll have a better feeling for where we are. We are always at least 3 to each mediumship of the gray zetas, 1 to the small, and up to 12 in the large ships, as that is our own destination plan. We wanted to share that with you, and we wanted to share our story with you. Thank you for letting us be here with you and continue our communication and paths with you.
Hey everybody, that was an amazing, amazing channeling. Aridif always brings through the greatest beings, the coolest entities, and the most interesting topics. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. Please feel free to support us. If you go to Patreon, you can start off at an $11 account for you to get extra stuff. If you only want to give $1 a month, you can also go there. And if you want to donate, you can always donate at etwhisper.com/donate or a donate button at the bottom of the page. Amazing support and love we've been getting from so many people, and we're doing this Patreon, and it's going, a flow of energy is going in there very well, and this helps us produce more of this content on time and for you guys each and every month. And we're going to try to get more and more energy. If we can get enough energy going there, then we can do much more of these videos per month. It'll let us take multiple days off in a row, like a week. If we could take a week off, we could do so many more videos. And we appreciate all the support we do have, guys. I love you guys. Hang out to the end of the video and you'll see all the promo energies for Patreon and for our Asheville 3-day workshop. Love you guys.